Adjacent angles are formed by two angles that share a common vertex and also have a ray in common. So on this diagram right here, I can see two angles, angles JHK and angle KHG, and they share a common vertex H, and they also share a common ray HK. So they are adjacent angles. Let's clear away those markings because I want to point out to you that these two adjacent angles form a larger angle, angle JHG. And in fact, we can talk about the measure of that angle by using the angle addition postulate. This is very similar to the segment addition postulate because it states that the measure of an angle created by two or more adjacent angles is equal to the sum of the measures of the individual angles. On this diagram, I see that angle JHK and angle KHG come together to form angle JHG. So I know that the sum of the measures of the adjacent angles is equal to the measure of the larger angle. In fact, since JHK has measure equal to 22 degrees and angle KHG has measure equal to 130 degrees, I know that the measure of the larger angle, JHG, is equal to 22 plus 130, which is 152 degrees. Next, let's see, though, what we can do when we're given a more challenging problem. Here we have three adjacent angles, and each of their measures is given by an expression. We are furthermore told the measure of the outside angle, angle AED. And then we're asked to find the measure of the smallest angle in the diagram. Well, if I sum together all of the expressions for the inside angles, the adjacent angles, I end up with an expression that represents the measure of angle AED. And I can use the fact that AED is given to us as 132 degrees to set up an equation with that expression. And next, what I'll do is solve for x. When I solve for x, the first thing to do is combine like terms. I see that I have 10x plus 12 is equal to 132. Next, what I can do is subtract 12 from both sides by using the subtraction property of equality. And that gives me that 10x is equal to 120. Finally, I will divide both sides by 10, and that tells me that x equals 12. Our final step for this is to plug or substitute x into each of those expressions. So 3 times 12 plus 4 is equal to 36 plus 4 is 40 degrees. 5x, that gives me 60 degrees, 5 times 12. And then finally, I need to go 2 times 12, that's 24 degrees, plus 8 more, that is 32 degrees. So I see that the very smallest angle is angle BED. As a quick check, we can actually add up those three angle measures. So when I go 40 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 32 degrees, I get the result is equal to 132 degrees, exactly like we'd expect.